Hello, my name is Gabrielle Johnson, and today I will be presenting my STEM Fair project. Now let's get on to the slideshow. So today I will be talking about an access control list. Here are the topics that I will cover during my presentation. What is an access control list, and why to use it, where do you place it, and what are the components and the different types of ACLs there are. Now, an access control list is a filter for incoming and outgoing traffic. It either allows for packets to be sent through the network or they're going to be denied if it does not fit the certain criteria. An ACL is useful for security purpose because it once again checks the packet and see if it's coming into the network properly or if it's not a correct packet and it should be sent back out. Now, the tricky part is where to place an ACL. An ACL can be placed at the end of a network where the networks will come in contact with unauthorized networks in a sense, or networks that have little to no security. ACL relies on its job being security so that no vulnerable information can be leaked. There is no sense of vulnerable packets being sent through that can cause harm to the network and things of that nature. Now, the components of an ACL are the remark, the statement, the name, the network protocol, the source, the log, and other criteria. Now, these components are useful in making up the ACL and allowing the ACL to do its job correctly. Of course, the name is basically a name you set, like anything you would, like let's say you're setting up a website, you would use that name that would be a name that's similar to what you would use on the ACL. You would just name it if you want, or if you want to leave it be. The remark is allowing comments to be put on the ACL for your purpose, or if you have somebody else setting up your ACL, this is what you should do when you get to this step or things of that nature. This statement is whether or not you want to allow or deny certain packets to go through. So, whether you want to deny it or you want to accept it, things of that nature. Now, the network protocol, it does the same thing in a sense, but it focuses on like a TCP, a UDP, and things of that nature. Now, the source can be either the source or the destination, and it is where all the IP addresses go to, or the target as the IP. Now, the log is basically a record keeper, and things of that nature. And now let's get onto the types of ACL. We have your standard ACL. You have your standard ACL, your extended, your dynamic, and your reflexive. Now, your standard it's in the name. It's standard. It protects the networks by using the source address. Your extended, it blocks source and destination from entire networks if it's not on a list of acceptable packets. Your extended ACL, it filters traffic based on the protocol information such as TCP, ICMP, IP, and UDP. And your dynamic, it's an extension of an ACL basically. It allows the user to determine whether or not they want the packet to go through. And your reflexive ACL, they filter the traffic based on how many layers there are and what them layers consist of. Now we're going to go onto a physical representation of what a ACL looks like. Now here you have your ACL. You have your router, you have your routers, your switch, and your PCs. Your PCs are at the bottom, your routers are at the top, and your switches are in the middle. Now a ACL can be placed on on the edge of a router. So basically right here, because your router receives information, any PCs that are sending packets is going to go through the router, and it's going to determine whether or not it should get passed through or not. Especially like if you're going to the internet and you might be on websites that are not secured, is gonna send a flag to the router and let the router know using ACL that this cannot be sent through, things of that nature. Now, I would like to say thank you and have a great night or a great day.